Hi, you guys. Welcome to Too Much Tuesdays, where you can come if your life gets to feel like it's a little bit too much. And I give you easy energy tools to use so that you can just handle whatever comes at you, let it flow through you, move forward in the way that you want to. So, last Tuesday, I started a series that I'm calling How to Be Happier. And I realized last week that it's actually important to be happy. I literally never knew that before. And I'm pretty old, you guys. So I was like focusing on other things, like helping people and improving myself. And I don't know, I was very serious. So I didn't really understand the value of being happy. So last week we talked about why happiness actually is important. Um, and I had this like aha moment of realizing that I was actually waiting for my family and my friends and my clients to be happy before I felt like it was okay for me to be happy. So, I mean, it's, I guess, nice in a certain way, but not really. Because then, like we said last week, everybody's just sitting around feeling sad and together, like commiserating, like that's what they say. I guess misery loves company. But what if somebody went first? What if one of us decided that they could be, even in their current circumstances, happy? Then wouldn't that raise our vibration? And the people right around us could then feel happier. And then the people around them could feel happier. And maybe like people could be happy. Maybe. And so I'm like, okay, I'll go, I'll be happy. But this past week, I've noticed that I really had like a weird resistance to being happy. And I delved more into that because I noticed it the week before, but this past week, I thought I like cleared it and everything. And now I'm like, no, I'm still resisting it. Why? So I used one of my energy tools, which is theta healing, superpower of theta healing, a system that Vienna Seibel created. And I realized that I had two little obstacles to my own happiness. One was I felt like being happy was selfish. And two, I felt that being happy is a waste of time. So I really had these beliefs. So when you sit and really feel into it, do you feel that way too? Do you feel like being happy is selfish? And do you feel like being happy would really be a waste of time? Because I can give you guys some downloads about that. I'm going to delve into a little more so you know what I'm talking about. I felt like I'm here on earth to accomplish things. I'm a New Yorker, for heaven's sakes. I lived in New York City for 30 years. I grew up in this beautiful, tiny little town, and people accomplished things there, a lot of things. It was a college town, and people were like academic and successful, but that wasn't good enough for me. It wasn't fast enough. I moved to New York City as quickly as I could out of college. And I stayed there at that like rate. We're here to accomplish things. We have a consciousness, right? Each individually, each city has a consciousness, and the consciousness of New York City is we're gonna get things done. Okay, there's a lot of other consciousnesses there too. One is very artsy, and one is really financially abundant. And right now, I don't even know what all is going on there since COVID, but a lot of the consciousness there is about let's get things done. And it's a cool consciousness, but I felt like somehow I couldn't get things done and be happy. And that's not true. Actually, what is true is that you will get more things done when you are happy. Isn't that amazing? So my other thing was, I shouldn't waste my time being happy. I'm a healer. I'm here to heal people and heal things about myself. Does that sound like opposites to you? Being a healer and being happy? Not really. What if I could be a better healer, happy? And the other obstacle I kept running into this past week was, well, I'm a parent. I'm here to make other people happy, the little people that live with me or that come home from college every once in a while. Wouldn't I be a better parent, happy? I know my kids' answer to that question would be, yes, please, mommy, please make yourself happy somehow. So I gave myself some downloads. So would you like some downloads about that? So by that, I just mean like, just if your computer doesn't have certain programs, you download it from the internet. We can download you if you give permission by saying yes from the universe. Okay. So would you like that download that you know what happiness is, like the highest and best definition of happiness, and that you know what it feels like and how to be happy without being selfish and to be happy without feeling like it's a waste of time? So I'm going to give those to you now. If you say yes, and that applies whether you're watching now, hi you guys, or whether you're watching a little bit later, like I know some people do. So now you know that it's cool to be happy, right? But then that leads us directly to the next question. How do you get to being happy? And that's what this series is about, because it's something that, like I keep saying, it doesn't come naturally to me, really. I know people who just are happy. They just are. And I'm frankly jealous of them, but that's okay. They probably have other things that they're working on. And I want to be happy, and I want you to be happy. So last week we talked about the first step, I think, to happiness is to forgive yourself. Why? Because if you don't, then you're going to be living 24/7 with somebody who has a grudge against you and is super critical of you. So that would be you, and you don't want that. So last week we did a little, I call it my meet and greet meditation, in order to forgive ourselves and accept ourselves. So you just do this meditation, however you go into that, nice meditative brainwave, and you just meet each cell of your body all the way up your legs till you get to your organs and your chakras, which are just your energy centers, all the way up. And when you come to a place that sort of gives you trouble, either physical or emotional, let's say your heart, like you have to be on heart medication, or you just have like heartache, instead of getting to your heart and going, oh, this is where there's a problem, I wonder what I can do to fix this problem, you just go, hi heart, I see you. Yeah, sometimes we have issues, don't we? I see you. Hi. And just keep moving on. This is accepting yourself. So this week, we're going to move from forgiving yourself to forgiving others, because that's the next ingredient, in my opinion, to happiness. Why? Because if you don't forgive others and figure out what lesson you were learning from your horrible relationships with them, then, I hate to be the one to tell you this, you guys, but then you will probably repeat that type of relationship over and over and over. And it's so annoying. And why? Why would you do that? Why would you do that to yourself? You didn't like that relationship, right? Why would you recreate something similar? Because your soul is trying to learn lessons. Your soul is just a lesson learning machine. It'll do anything it takes. It doesn't care that it's hard, but you do, right? And so what we can do about that is to look at the relationships that you got hurt by and see, what lesson was my soul trying to learn from that relationship? This is exactly how you do that. I'm going to take you through this little exercise. It's a really cool, pretty easy, kind of fun, and very powerful and effective exercise. In just a few minutes, we're going to do that. Okay. So don't even worry about how to do it right now. I'm just telling you at the moment why it's important to forgive others and why that would lead to your own happiness. I mean, I know a lot of you are really spiritual people, and you just want to forgive others because you know that that's right. But, sometimes we try to forgive people because we're spiritual, but it's too hard. Or we don't even know that we need to forgive them because it was in our past. And we're like, oh, they were just a kid at the time. We still need to forgive them. So that's the next reason that we need to forgive others, because even if it's a long ways in the past, these experiences that we have, emotions that we have, are converted into actual molecules in our body. That's what our bodies do. That's what we do as humans. We have emotions, and emotions are cool, but we have to make sure that our emotions are moving through us. That's what EFT tapping is all about. That's why I talked about it. That's why I refer to it so much to you guys, because it helps you to just move that emotion of anger or of impatience or of whatever, hatred, or just like, oh, I'm so exhausted, whatever it is. Emotions aren't bad or good. Emotions are just emotions. It's just a feeling, and it's a feeling that's letting you know what's happening with you, yourself. And so you do, though, want to move it through your body, because if you don't, and when you were little, you didn't know how, and maybe even now you don't know how, if you don't move those emotions out and, through and out, they're going to kind of cluster up in your body. And you store them in different places in your body, like in your heart or your gallbladder or your liver or your lungs or wherever it is. And then they grow, like a tumor, because they're just sitting there like, okay, you don't know what to do with this, so I'm just going to gather right here, this little emotion of sadness in your heart or whatever it is. We don't want that. We don't want that emotional baggage. We don't want it to turn into something physical. So this is a really good reason to forgive others, to let them go. And then lastly, if you don't forgive others, I think you're going to start thinking that the world kind of sucks. You're going to just have more and more negative experiences throughout your life. And you're going to be like, I hate this. It's horrible here, And that's actually not true. The world is the world. There's beautiful things. There's terrible things. The world is the world. You are creating your reality second by second. You are creating your internal reality. Of course, there's a lot of stuff coming at you. You didn't create COVID, did you? You didn't create the fact that your father had an explosive temper, did you? But you get to create how you respond to these things. You get to. Did you know that? Albert Einstein, who I think we can agree is a pretty smart guy, said at one time, the most important question facing humanity is the universe a friendly place? The most important question facing humanity is the universe a friendly place? He was actually talking in the context of the fact that humans, partly, he helped with this a little bit, humans had just developed the atomic bomb. And so now humans have the ability to blow each other and ourselves up within a few minutes. And Albert Einstein was pretty concerned about that. And so he was talking about the universe, and he was really talking about relationships between countries. But I'm going to tell you what he said and explore just for a minute before we get to our exercise, how we can apply that to ourselves as individuals, because I think it really applies. So Albert Einstein said that if we decide that the universe is an unfriendly place, as countries, we will constantly try to achieve safety and power by creating bigger walls and bigger weapons. He was really right about that. That's exactly what countries have been doing, right? Trying to find safety and power by building bigger walls and bigger weapons. But on the individual level, that's kind of what we do too. If you feel like the universe is an unsafe place, unfriendly place, you would have to build a wall and you would have to get weapons to defend yourself emotionally, and maybe physically. So that's if the universe is an unfriendly place. Albert Einstein said, if you feel like it's a neutral place, then it's like a roll of the dice. Everything is by chance. So that makes you kind of a victim, at the international level and at the individual level. If you feel like, well, I don't know, things just happen to me, then it's not a good feeling. It might be good, but it might be bad. That's neutral. If you feel like the universe is a friendly place, then you will still want safety and power, and that's okay. It's okay to want to be safe and want to be in your power, but you'll go about achieving safety and power by understanding the universe. This is still what Einstein said. He was speaking at an international level. He wanted to understand the universe in order to achieve safety and power, which would be so great if our countries did that. Our country and all the other countries. How amazing would it be if they started to understand each other instead of build walls and weapons towards each other. But at the individual level, this is also what we can do. We can begin to understand each other and achieve safety and power that way. So God, and Albert Einstein, you've probably heard this quote from him, he ended with saying, God does not play dice with the universe. And I would agree. And Einstein didn't say this. A lot of people put words into his mouth. They say what they want to say, and then they go, Albert Einstein said that. He didn't really say this, but I think that we can kind of extrapolate from what he was saying about the universe to the individual level and go, you know what? I do feel that the universe is a friendly place. Let me see how I can go about making sure that my inner universe is friendly. And one of the ways to do this is by forgiving yourself and then forgiving others. So you ready to do this really cool exercise? So remember, we did the meet and greet meditation last week. Now we're going to do this visualization about forgiveness. I call it the exit interview. And you'll see why. It's because you're going to think of, in just a moment, start thinking of a person who has harmed you in your life. It could be from when you were a kid. It could be from when you were really young. It could be very recent. Somebody that harmed you that you know that probably you should forgive. And we're going to walk you through it. And you'll see that I call it the exit interview, because what you're going to be doing is just a very quick review, like you would if you were the owner of a company and you had to call somebody into your office because you were going to let them go. Not fire them. It's just that their position has been eliminated. And so you're going to go quickly over what happened, how it made you feel, and the fact that it's in the past, and here's what you learned from it, and they're no longer needed. So we're going to go through this. Now, I understand that some people that you're in relationship with, you're still in relationship with them, that have harmed you, and you can stay in relationship with them if you want to. And then there's others, but you can still forgive them for past stuff, and you can still have boundaries with them, you know? And then there's other people who are in the past and who are going to stay in the past. You're not, just because you forgive somebody doesn't mean that you have to go and start a relationship with them again. For one thing, they might have died, and you can still do this. A lot of times my clients are like, but we come to the conclusion they need to forgive, like, their mom. And they're like, but she died. It doesn't matter. The feelings live on, right? So you can still forgive even somebody who's died. You can forgive somebody that you're never going to talk to before, that you're never going to talk to again. You don't have to go back into relationship with them, but you can still forgive them. You also, by the way, don't need to go to somebody and say, I did the forgiveness exercise on you. I forgive you. You can if you want to, but I don't recommend it. This is for you. Okay. They'll feel the energy of it, by the way. They'll really feel like, oh, it's done. And that's part of the reason for the forgiveness exercise too. If you haven't forgiven somebody, you are still in relationship with them energetically. You are still receiving their stuff energetically. And I guarantee it's bugging you, so this is going to stop that. Okay. You ready? Here we go. So I want you to close your eyes, take a nice deep breath in, hold it for a few moments, and then breathe out slowly through your mouth. Again, breathing in, hold it for a few moments, breathing out slowly. And now you're going to just go down into the earth, pull up a ball of energy, powerful flowing earth energy, allow it to come up through your feet. And you're going to just feel that expansive energy coming up through every cell of your body, through your legs, through each chakra, which is just up the energy centers of your spine, down your arms, all the way out to your fingertips, up through your throat, your jaw, your face, your head, up through that. There's a chakra, which is just an opening, an energy center on the top of your head. And then you're just going to feel the air around you and the chair or whatever around you that you're touching. And you're going to Remember your oneness with what's just around you. Your molecules are not all that different from the molecules of air and furniture and floor around you. So you're just going to expand out a little bit and feel your oneness with that place around you. And then you're going to expand out even more in your consciousness. And it feels kind of like a bubble of light going out. If you don't feel it, you're just visualizing it. And you feel that bubble of light going down into the earth, up above you into the sky and the clouds, and out around you, kind of meeting and greeting everything around you, every building, every plant, every animal and human. And then you keep on going all the way up, out through the sky, out to the whole country, down into the earth. That bubble just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Remembering your oneness with all of this, going out to all the different countries and plants and animals and humans in the world, the oceans, the continents, up past our galaxy, out of our universe, up and out and up and out, till you feel this oneness. And finally, you get to a layer of sparkling, flowing light, like an ocean of unconditional love and light. That's Source. That is the infinite energy of being, the creator of all that is, God, the divine energy, whatever you like to call that energy. And you're actually connected to it. Nothing can break your connection to this place. You're just focusing on that connection right now. And now that you're in that place of complete connection and light, you're going to visualize in your mind the person that has harmed you. There's probably more than one, but you're starting with one. And as you're sitting there, you're visualizing in your mind that they're sitting across from you. And in your mind, very briefly, just in a few sentences, you're going to summarize what their actions were toward you and how their actions made you feel. Just very quickly. I remember you did this and that and that. And it really made me feel this way and that way and that way. It's just very factual. And then you're going to go back up, take your consciousness back up to that flowing energy of light and your connection to it. And you're going to ask Source, what lesson your soul was trying to learn from your relationship with that person? What in the world were you trying to learn? If you have no idea, and I'm going to be quiet in a moment so that you can listen, because that's what we're doing right now. We're not talking and creating things so much as listening. What is the lesson? Source will tell you. But if this is kind of triggering you to see that person who harmed you across from you in your mind, I'll give you a hint about what the lesson might be. It might very likely be the exact opposite of how that person made you feel. So let's say that the person that you want to forgive or release was always making you feel unloved. They were in a position of somebody who really should have loved you, your parent or your boyfriend or wife or someone, your sibling, and they made you feel unloved and unlovable. Probably what your soul was trying to learn was that you deserve love, that no matter how they treated you, you do deserve love, and that you know how to receive love and give love that is received. So your soul was trying to learn that the hard way, because that's kind of what we tend to do, but that is the lesson. If the person who harmed you always made you feel disrespected, probably what your soul is trying to learn is that you deserve respect, that you know how to receive respect, and that you respect yourself and know how to command respect from others. So I'm going to be quiet now. You ask Source, what was the lesson? And then you just say, Source, please download this lesson to me. Complete it. I get it. Thank you. It is done. It is done. It is done. whatever words you want to use. Okay, get that lesson, ask for it to be downloaded. And now, in your mind, you're bringing your consciousness back to that person that harmed you. And now you say to them, you know, I have learned so much from you. Thank you for your participation in my learning this lesson. You did a good job, really. I have learned it. The thing is, I don't need you anymore. It's nothing personal. It's just that your position has been eliminated. So you can go. And now here's the most important part. I forgive you. Doesn't that make you feel powerful in a way? To forgive is actually very empowering because you're recognizing that you are in charge of your life, that you are in charge even of your emotions, that nobody, in fact, can make you feel a certain way. You forgive them. If you honestly can't say the word, I forgive you, you can say, I release you. So you're not firing the person, you're just letting them go. That's what forgiveness is. You're letting them go. You used to have a hook right here that they hooked onto. And even if you let them go, if that hook was still there, somebody else is going to come on and hook onto it, right? If you get rid of the hook by forgiving people and understanding what the lesson is, people like that will still come towards you, but they'll have nothing to hook onto, and then they'll go away. Or you'll have a relationship with them. Maybe it's a family member and you are still in a relationship with them, but they won't bother you in the same way anymore because you guys aren't hooking like that anymore. It'll just be smooth. So do that. Thank you for teaching me that lesson. Thanks for being a part of it. Great job. I forgive you. You can go. And then watch them walk away. Don't let the door hit them on the butt on the way out. And now, how do you feel? Most people at this point say, oh my gosh, I feel so much lighter. I think being light is like being free. And I think being light and free is like being happy. So would you like those downloads? Would you like to know that it's safe and possible, what it feels like and how to be light, to be free, to be safe, and to be happy? Oh, you guys, just as I'm doing this, there is the most beautiful little fawn coming out. I don't think I could get it on camera, or I would. This little fawn came out of the forest and right up near my window. So that fawn wants you to be happy. And so let me just give you those downloads about being safe, completing your lessons, being light, free, and happy, and that you're protected not by your resentments, but by the universe, by source. Good. Beautiful. If anybody has any questions, hi Kelly, please, you can put them in the chat. I know it takes a few moments to show up in the chat, so I'm going to keep talking for a minute, but we can totally, if you have questions about anything that just happened or anything that I said, put them in the little chat box. And I want you to know that we're going to keep going with this happiness series. Next week, I'm going to be talking about your relationship to the universe and your purpose, because that's part of being happy, is to know your purpose here on earth. And then the following week after that, I'm really excited because we're going to have a special guest speaker. She is an expert on parenting, and I've just talked with her because I really love her stuff. She does this technique called conscious parenting, and I talked to her because I wanted to know if she felt that she could kind of transfer what she teaches parents to deal with their children to all family relationships. Because when we're talking about being happy, one of the first things that happens is we're like, good, right? Everything's fine. And then our family comes home from school and work, or we come home from work or whatever, and we're stressed and we fall apart, whether you have kids or not. And she definitely can. So this is Rebecca Guez of navigatingparenting.com. And she absolutely is going to take her technique of conscious parenting and turn it into like conscious family relationships for us in a couple of weeks here. And I'm going to talk with her about that, and it's going to be really cool. So stay tuned. And I wish you guys peace, and I wish you happiness. And please, if you have any questions, you can always contact me at tara@beyondyourbelief.com. And also come and join our community if you haven't already. Hi, Natasha, you are welcome. Thank you for being here. And if you go to beyondyourbelief.com, you will, I know, Kelly said, excited about the next couple of weeks sessions. It's going to be really cool. And if you know anybody who you feel like could be, really helped by what we're doing here, all of my videos are recorded. They're on my Facebook page, but we're also putting them up on my YouTube channel, and I'm kind of getting that together. I'm not, my VA is this week, and that should be up soon. So you can tell people to go there. And also you can tell them to go to beyondyourbelief.com and sign up for that transformation toolkit. And I recommend too, what really helps with all of this stuff, forgiving yourself, forgiving others, processing your emotions through, that tapping stuff helps so much. So go back, if you haven't watched all the little mini videos in your transformation toolkit, go back and do it. And we also have a community page here on Facebook, Beyond Your Belief Community, so sign up for that. And I do put in there, like, let's say you don't have time to watch this whole thing, I get it. I'm going to put in there a lot of the good stuff that I've said, but you have to be a member of that community, Beyond Your Belief Community on Facebook, okay? Thanks, you guys. Thanks for being here. Be happy.